I'm Rick Orlando. We're going to make fabulous pita bread from scratch in a cast iron skillet. Pita is really easy. It just takes some time because you have to knead it well and you also have to give it time to proof. So let me show you how easy this is to start. We want to make what's called a sponge, right? So a sponge is when you get your yeast going. So we're going to put about a teaspoon of sugar. That's going to feed my yeast, and a couple teaspoons of yeast in some warm water. And I want to give it a good stir. I'm going to use a fork for this. And get that yeast to break up. And then we're going to add a half a cup of flour. And that's going to create our beautiful sponge. And that, you just put that in a warm place, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes. And it'll turn into this. Get a close look at that. That's your sponge. That's going to activate your flour. So in the bowl of my mixer, we're going to focus on local here. I have local flour from Wild Hive Farm. Don Lewis is the man. He makes the best flour in the country. It's right in Clinton Corners. And what we need for this is we're going to use a couple cups of, actually about a cup and a half of white flour and about a half a cup of whole wheat flour. Oops, all-purpose flour, whole wheat flour. And that's going to give you a little bit of sweetness from the whole wheat. If you use all whole wheat, it's kind of hard to develop enough gluten to get good bubbles in there. Anyway, all we need to do now is add our starter, which we made, our sponge, which it's called, and we're going to add a generous pinch of salt, and I'm going to bring it over to the mixer. Here I come. Watch out. Here I come. Don't trip over the extension cord. Okay, let's see. Let's get this all clumped together. In there. I'm going to use the paddle attachment, not the dough hook, because I want to pull this together pretty quickly. Oh, how about if we do this? Okay, good. Ooh, I had to do that just for show. That was entertainment. I'm going to get a nice shaggy dough. Want to come in and get a look at the shaggy dough? See that? All right, now we're going to add another quarter cup of water. The recipes are all going to be on my website, rickorlando.com. Radio Woodstock will share them. There are also going to be videos on my YouTube channel, which is Chef Rick Orlando, so you'll be able to find me. Anyway, we have a nice, moist, shaggy dough pulled together quickly in the mixer. Now, this is the fun part, and I'm not going to torture you with the entirety of the process, but on a lightly floured board is you have to knead the bejesus out of this stuff. I'm talking probably, I say 400 pushes, or maybe about 5 or 10 minutes. But the kneading is what really helps you get the bubbles that work. And see how wet it is? So I'm rolling it in flour. Gonna work it, and this is your friend. The dough scraper is your friend when you're working with wet dough, because it's like having a non-stick surface. Turn it over, knead it, turn it over, knead it, and you're going to do this, a little more flour on the hand. You're going to do this probably, you'll see it starts to come together. I'm not going to bore you with the entire process, but you see now it's already starting to come together. But you really want to give it, if you want to use two hands and not get too tired, do like 50 with one hand and then 50 with the other hand, like that. Anyway, once you've kneaded this dough long enough, you put it aside with some plastic wrap, and in about an hour or an hour and a half, it proofs up and you have this beautiful, light, fluffy dough. Look at this. So let me just shake my hands over. What we're going to do now is we're going to make, I'll make you a visual there. We're going to make balls. I made one already because you want to let it rest a bit. You take the dough, it's very wet and sticky and stringy, and that's what you want. Put a little flour on your board. Roll it into balls like that. That's going to make you about a 4 or 5 inch pita. And then you want to let them sit for about 10 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to roll a couple balls. Then I'm going to clean my hands. So look, my other balls are softening. This one is nice and soft already. Behind me I have a cast iron skillet. It's been on the whole time. Not fully cranked, but nice and hot. I'm going to a little flour on both sides of my pita. I'm going to take a rolling pin and I want to roll this out. Now when you bake this in an oven, it'll blow up like a balloon. When you bake it in a pan, it may not blow up fully like a balloon, but it'll blow up enough that you'll be able to split your pita open if you want. So let's roll it out nice and thin, not paper thin, about a 1/4 inch. Take it right over. You want to come around here, pal? I'm going to put it right in the dry pan, just like that. I'm going to let it cook a minute and just watch it go. Let me roll out another one while we do that. You watch that, Liz, here. You can watch me roll another. Da-da-da. Turn it over. So you got about 15 or 20% whole wheat in there. You can see the coloring. Delicious. It's puffed up enough now where if you can actually split it with a knife, which I can show you when it comes off the stove. And we'll start one more. A few more seconds. So even though it didn't puff up bigly, you can still get a nice pocket in here, stuff your food in there, or you can come right over here, like I'm going to do, have a little pita and hummus. Free. The recipes are on rickorlando.com. They're on my YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Thank you for all the community support. Keep taking care of each other. This is a strange time, but it's also a time to be together with your family and have some fun. I mean, if you're not going out, have some fun. I'm Rick Orlando. Ooh, another loaf of pita going. Have a great day.